Call, please.
Mr. Long?
Here.
Prima?
Here.
Minor?
Here.
Are there any conflict of interest statements?
No, sir.
Okay, approval of the minutes of the meeting of June 13th, 2024.
Motion to approve those minutes.
And I second them.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Number 5, bid openings. I don't see any. Number 6, matters from other department heads or their representatives. Mark, nothing? Nothing. Wow. Okay. Moving on to number 7, correspondence, letter A. Correspondence received from Dean Button requesting the approval of the agreement of professional services with United Consulting Engineering in the amount of $120,820 for the Kennedy Avenue Road Diet from 164th Place to the Indiana Toll Road.
So let me explain this. This is for Kennedy Avenue for the construction supervision from 164th Place to Michigan. We're going to do the road diet, continue it down, what we did. And the contract price is actually $604,100. So that represents 20% of the federal funding. So if we get this signed, everything's in order, it's going to be bid out July 10th, and why this is so critical to get it done, that contract has to be sent to INDOT. They have to bless it, then we have to request a federal funding letter to NERC and also INDOT. Then they send us the PO prior to July 10th.
Okay?
So I would recommend approval.
Motion to approve.
I
Thank you.
second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Letter B, correspondence received from Aegis recommending bid for the Indianapolis Boulevard and Hammond Sportsplex roadway and traffic signal to be awarded to Milestone Construction, who appears to be the low bidder in the amount of $1,029,076.73.
So this bid came in, I believe it was last week, and the price is actually below the engineer's estimate. So this is a pretty decent price. And this is for the Sportsplex/YMCA traffic signal across the street from Hudamaki.
The new one?
Brand new signal.
Yeah, we just did a walkthrough through the YMCA, and they were pointing where the light was going to be. Good.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay. Thank you.
Motion to approve.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Letter C, correspondence received from William Short, Chief of Police, requesting the approval of the resignation of Corporal Karina Acevedo, effective the close of business on June 11th, 2024.
Motion to approve.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Letter D, correspondence received from Ron Novak requesting the approval of the proposed license agreement renewal with Dual Village Incorporated and its representative, EnviroForensics LLC, to allow access to city property located at 837 Hawthorne Street to perform work. Good morning, Ron.
Morning. This is a renewal agreement. This was a dry cleaners. Typically, they are associated with contamination on and off-site their property. They've essentially performed remediation on this property, but they're required to monitor for years and years and years just to assure that nothing has slipped past their monitoring stations. So I recommend approval.
Okay.
Motion to approve.
And I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Ron.
Thank you.
Letter E, correspondence received from Felix Gonzalez, Director of Public Works, requesting certain vehicles be transferred from the Park Department asset list to the MVH Street Department asset list. Okay.
Motion to approve.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Number 8, matters from board members.
No, sir.
Anything?
Nothing to hue and cry about.
Okay, perfect. Number 9, new business. Letter A, mobile vendors, Sweet Glee HDC Community Kitchen requesting to operate in a residential district.
So I'm not sure if that person's here today. I don't see them.
Yeah.
Yes? I'm sorry, I looked the wrong way. Come on up. You can go over this to this microphone. So as the board is aware, the city ordinance and the application for somebody that's a mobile food vendor that's going to go into neighborhoods is required to go before the board to explain the need and kind of what their plan is to go in the neighborhood, so we kind of have a feel for
Right.
what's going on in the neighborhoods, right?
Right.
So I believe that they filled out the application properly. I believe their health certificate is in there. Everything appears in order, otherwise it wouldn't have come up for this appearance by them before you. So I think it's just a matter of the board getting a comfort level and maybe setting any regulations, especially regarding time. I think time's already part of the ordinance, but just to discuss that with the applicant and to determine how best to have them serve the neighborhoods without undue disruption to a residential area.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Can you give us your name, please?
Olga Cruz.
Can you step up to the mic or pull it down a little bit? There you go.
Olga Cruz.
Okay, can you tell us what hours of operation you intend to use?
We are attending 1 to 7.
1 p.m. to 7 p.m.?
7 p.m.
That's every day, or how many days a week?
It depends on weather.
On the weather?
Yeah.
But if the weather's good, you intend to do every day?
Yeah.
So every day, 1 to 7. And what are you selling?
It's a confectional. ¿Cómo se llama?
¿Qué vendes? Frozen confections.
It's a frozen confection. It's
So
all
Frozen
is per
ice
packet.
cream, kind of?
Okay.
Yeah,
Is it
and
ice cream?
ice cream.
Ice
All
cream?
is per packet.
Okay, and then what you're gonna park somewhere, you pushing something?
No, I driving the truck.
Okay.
When someone buy something, I stop.
Okay,
Or
like an ice cream
street.
truck?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, and you intend to keep moving as you're selling,
Yeah,
right?
always moving.
Okay, always moving.
What neighborhoods do you plan on going through? The whole city, or is it just,
We only selling by Hammond.
right?
The
so
whole
all-
city of Hammond or
Whole city
certain
of Hammond.
areas in Hammond?
No, all the streets.
All the streets?
Yeah.
Okay.
And do you have any like noise on your truck?
Music?
That alert, how some ice cream trucks have a noise?
Music.
Yeah, I had that music, but not ¿cómo se dice fuerte?
Not loud.
Not loud. It's not loud.
Okay, you understand that you have to keep the volume pretty low, right?
Yeah.
It can't be blaring for the neighborhood, right? Okay, and you're gonna keep moving?
Yeah, always more.
Okay, and is this the first, do you sell anywhere else, or this would be the first time doing this?
¿Vendes a cualquier otro lugar o esta es la primera vez?
No, it's our first time.
First time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you operated in any other cities or towns before this year, outside of Hammond? Like, have you done Chicago?
No. This is
Nowhere else?
No.
First time for the truck?
Yeah.
Okay.
We try new progress and
New
ideas.
business?
Yeah, new business.
New business, okay.
Okay.
Okay, so the main thing you have to keep in mind is you always have to keep moving. Like he said, the music has to be to a reasonable volume, okay?
Okay.
And if there's any issues, we can call you back in and address those. Keep that in mind, okay?
Okay.
You understand that?
Yep.
If we get complaints or something like that, we may ask you to come back in. Okay?
Okay.
Just also make sure that if the permit is issued, they're properly displayed so the police can see it or anybody else can see it.
You understand that part too? If we
Yeah.
issue the permit, you need to put it where everybody can see it
On the
Yeah, I
truck.
had
On
in
the
the
truck?
window, so.
on the truck, okay?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
you good?
I'm satisfied, yes.
Okay, I think we are too, right? Yeah.
That's it?
Yes.
Okay.
When we get back, or are we approving it
We're
today?
good.
We get back
approving
or
it
no?
today?
Yeah, I don't think with the board, actually, I don't think the board approves it. I think it's just that you would send it back down to the controller's office and they would issue.
Okay,
On there for it. Is a signature on here for the board?
Oh, signature for the board, yeah, and then they would go back down.
okay. Just send it back, we'll agree to send it back now.
So, two.
Okay.
Okay. Motion to,
That they would go back down to the controller's office.
Ma'am, after the meeting, stay, we're gonna have something to tell you, okay? Okay, thank you. We'll let her know.
okay, motion to approve.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Excuse me.
Letter B, acknowledgement of notice to owners of affected property located at 712 Highland Street and 6044 Erie Avenue.
I believe this is just a city zoning matter.
Yeah,
I don't think
good to go?
just
No
accept
action needed,
accept
okay.
the notice.
Gotcha. Okay, letter C, garage sale permit submitted for approval.
Motion to approve.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, letter D, funding allocation request form requesting $43,000 of Third District Gaming Fund is to be allocated for the Civic Center parking lot submitted for approval.
Motion to approve.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Letter E, funding allocation request form requesting $50,000 of Third District Gaming Funds be allocated for the Harrison Park Pond project submitted for approval.
Motion to approve.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Letter F, unsafe building demolition liens for properties located at 2831 Orchard Drive, 1806 Brown Avenue, 6724 Woodmar Avenue, and 4407 Baltimore Avenue submitted for approval.
Mr. President and Board, good morning again. These are, as the board has the information before it that shows the work that was done, there's invoices, and these are the liens that will be placed on the property and recorded in the county. I can report to the board that the work has been performed and the demolitions have been done. We have photos and, as I mentioned, invoices. So I'd request their approval so we can get them recorded.
Okay.
Motion to approve.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Number 10, old business, letter A, status for 4919 Pine Avenue.
So I'll let Mr. Luter report out on this. However, my last notes back in March, and there might have been something after this because it was set for April 4th. I may not have been here to determine if the owner didn't appear. The issue is to determine if the property should be demolished. There was no contact with the owner. Bill was going to try to contact and visit the site.
Right, we've got a final electrical and heating and air conditioning inspections passed. Building is the only thing that is still pending. They just finished some work on a drain tile, had a back-ordered window to replace the window that was taken out of the basement. That was installed either Tuesday or yesterday. If we can just get 30 days to get into a final building, if not, the owner will have to appear to explain why the delays.
So, Bill, are you saying that it's pretty much getting fixed up?
It sounds like it's nearing completion, based on my contact with the owner.
Okay, so do you want to keep it on the demo list or the rehab agreement?
I would keep it under the demo list. I think we can hopefully have this wrapped up in about 30 days or less.
Okay.
Is July 25th a good day?
I won't be here, but it's okay.
It's okay?
Yeah.
July 25th, good?
I should be here.
Motion to set for status for July 25th, 2024.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And, excuse me, Mr. President, before we go on, Kevin, I was going to talk to you about this. Is there any way we can take D before C in this matter, because C is separate from, C is not a demolition property?
So we'll go from B to D?
Yes.
Okay.
I just wanted to also mention, if I could ask Linda, that on that 25th date for that Pine property, if it's complete, we may need to, rescind and release that demo order. Just a note on that, so that you show that for the 25th. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so going to letter B, status for 7247 through 49 Indianapolis Boulevard.
My last contact with the owners and managing person, well, the manager of the property, if you remember, this is the owners in Hawaii.
Yes.
Somebody's in Canada, somebody's in California. It's a big mess.
Right.
The last contact I had with their local property manager was they were intending to either lease or sell the property with the understanding that the leasee or the new owners would be doing the rehab. But there's been no movement on that. If we want to give them a little time to see if they can find a suitable buyer.
Well, the board's willing to go to Hawaii if we need to talk to them.
I mean, so am I,
Just if we need to talk to them.
especially in light of current situations. I'm willing to go.
Okay, just throwing that out there.
So the order has been recorded. It was recorded on April 12th. The board affirmed the order of demolition back then. We always like to try to keep this thing moving. I mean, we can bid it out if you want, but I don't want to waste time bidding it out either. So I don't know, Bill, when's the last time you actually spoke with them?
I got an email from them a couple weeks ago, and I did, a couple people that I knew were interested in the property. I told them, here, go talk to them and see what
Because
they
I don't
want to
see
do.
a
but-
listing. I don't
I
see
think
it.
there is a listing, though.
But is it posted on the building?
No, it's not on the building, but it is
a
online,
listing.
sir. I do
Okay,
know that,
okay.
yeah.
That's probably why I didn't see it. I just didn't see it on
Yeah.
the building. So it's up to the board. I'd like to get this thing moving.
There is I'm sorry, Mr.
Yeah.
Kevin, there is a large sign, it's it's facing the boulevard, it says it's for lease or sale.
Okay, good.
That I do know.
That's
for a
great.
fact.
I didn't see that.
We agree with you. We want to keep it moving too.
Yeah.
So we're gonna move towards bidding it out, but I think, you know, if you wanna, I think we should keep it on the short list and maybe set a status for, 2 weeks.
July 11th?
Sure.
Okay.
Motion is set for status for July 11th, 2024.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, for now, we're going to skip C and go to D, status for 1152 Michigan.
Hey, Mr. Meeker's here.
Hey, how you doing?
This is still pending. Al Perez, Preferred Homes is the buyer. We just received confirmation from ServiceLink that they have the title work order, and we should be closing within 10 to 15 days. It's a Chase property. It's not owned by this previous owner who's probably still on title as we speak. But I just got after Chase on Thursday about the grass. The grass was tall, and there's just a little patch in the front of the house. So that should have been completed on Monday or Tuesday. So as far as, grass is concerned, we're trying to keep up with that. But we are moving to pending. This is the good contractor that's done a lot of work in Hammond, Al Perez, and we plan to, have closing within, like I said, 10 to 15 days.
Yeah, the only thing I mentioned about Mr. Perez is that at least history speaks that usually he'll get a property and flip it, which is fine. I mean, it is what it is. But I don't want to be set with a property that is in the condition it's in for too long without a demo order on it. So I don't know if Mr. Perez wants to come up and let us know what his intentions are once he obtains the property. That might be helpful.
What he's told me from my recollection is that he plans to fix it up and turn it as a rental. This is not a flip. Hammond's, in this part of Hammond, it's not a flip market, it's a rental market. So I'm sure his intentions are to go in there and rehab it just to rent and move forward and keep it as a rental.
Steve, do we have any idea on when the closing's going to be, the actual closing?
10 to 15 days. Chase says to date the contract with 30 days from seller signature, and we have seller signature. So I received the contracts from Sheena Fleming on 6/11. And the date of this seller's signature, if I can find it here.
So we're gonna need, like, if it closes, what I would suggest is one more continuance, like a 2-week status for 7-Eleven. If it's not closed by then, because two things. One, Mr. Perez is gonna have to pay for it immediately, or it would be great if you just paid for it now, an inspection, right? That hasn't been paid for yet. So we I think we mentioned that at the last time we were here, which was at the demo hearings set for May 30th. So, one, the demo inspection has to be paid for. Two, we need to find out from Mr. Perez what his plan is. So I'd like to get the closing done and onto the new owner, and on July 11th, if we don't have those things, and I'd like to have the demo order entered. We kind of as a courtesy to Mr. Meeker, we delayed it because we didn't want it following up the closing,
Absolutely.
right? Because it would have been we would have recorded it. So on July 11th, if it's not closed yet, I'm gonna ask to record the order.
Right, and the seller signature was June 11th, so 30 days from that would be July 11th. Otherwise, I'm going to have to furnish an extension to Chase to sign, to extend the contract. But with their quirky 30-day, or keep a contract always in active status from a new rules from 2008 from our prior president. So we plan on closing this within by July 11th. And I just texted him, told him that he needs to apply for a demo permit.
Inspection.
Yeah, demo inspection.
And it'd be nice if he would appear on July 11th.
Okay. And he's just replied, can we close this week? Well, it's up to Chase and ServiceLink. ServiceLink is their title vendor. They issue on Fidelity, but it's a national REO bank-owned title company, so they're going to move as fast as they can, and when they're ready to close, they want to close the day before that. So.
Okay, we're going to go to July 11th.
Okay.
We're going to use.
Motion is set for status for July 11th, 2024.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye. Second. Aye.
Okay, letter C, status for 7235 Calumet Avenue.
Is this the one that Mr. Peterson uses?
Is anybody here from 7235 Calumet Avenue?
Nobody's here.
Okay.
Fifty-two Carroll.
Which one is it?
Yeah.
So we're gonna have a letter E.
Photos that I took, the bridge facade fell in.
Is this the one where Peterson keeps?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is, Don
So
Pipping
this is
on
the
A.
property where there was a land contract in place between the previous owner and a woman, Miss Herrera. Upon an inspection that I performed, with Inspector Pollock, it was determined that 2 commercial units were converted to 4 residential apartments without permits. We have yet to have a hearing on the actual matter because they were in civil court disputing, like, I guess, the amount between the contract of their personal, property agreement. And the land contract was never recorded, so both parties were noticed in the notice of violation. But it's been, getting continued for quite some time, and it would be my request that, we, if there was supposed to be a final decision made when Mr. Peterson appeared at the last hearing, I would just request the board set this matter for a actual hearing date so we can present our evidence from the inspection and actually get it affirmed. And then whoever ends up owning between their negotiation, they can deal with that.
What's the hearing on?
It's a notice.
Citation?
No, it's a notice of violation of uninhabitable residential dwelling units.
But it's already been
No,
vacated. There's people living there?
no. Yes, it's been vacated. However, there hasn't been any actual decision affirmed through the board for the removal of these units because the land contract that was not recorded.
Yeah, I think
has
it's
been-
mixed up in the ownership.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I thought the attorney was here saying that was almost
Finished it.
resolved.
Almost resolved, yep.
So what happened? We don't know what happened?
No.
I think he should have been here today. I think, he knew about today's hearing, or today's status.
And in the meantime, the building's sitting there falling apart. We have a parapet wall that's fallen over onto the roof of the building with an electrical light attached. Mr. Pollock has updated photos that the board would like to see. We would like to see some movement on this property.
Yeah, if the board would want, I just want to make sure that everybody gets notice. So if we're going to set it for a hearing, as Mr. Farrell requested, let's just make sure that both Mr. Peterson and whoever represents the Pipping folks, I think Mr. Pipping appears sometimes on his own, but I think he also has an attorney. So both of those folks should be, you can probably find it, Linda, in the online docket, who's representing who. Let's just get notice out to everybody and then set it for a hearing.
Cool.
So we don't want to try to get them in.
Yeah, I'd like to get him in.
Next Friday
Yeah, sure. If they can,
before we do anything?
we could
or
try, sure. Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying that at least they can appear by Zoom, I would think. And then if they want to, we can discuss a hearing date, because, I don't want to just set a random date and then they can't
Right.
make it.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
thinking.
Yeah.
So try to get them here next Friday, because next week's meeting's Friday.
Yep.
Yeah, if we
Is
could
that okay?
set it for, a date to set a hearing, because the inspection was done September 22. And so
Yeah,
We're
there's
on
a
the
wall.
same page, but I'd like to talk to them
Yeah,
before we
absolutely.
set the hearing. Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And if there's a parapet wall coming over, then
Yeah.
that's, could be a demolition situation where it needs to go on the demolition,
Okay, then we're gonna set it for June 28th. It's 11:30 that day.
Is it? Okay, June 28th, 11:30.
Yep.
And Linda will give notice to the attorneys.
Motion is set for status for June 28th, 2024.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
There is a letter E. It's not on the agenda, but it's 52 Carroll.
Good morning.
Good morning.
This is about a property that we inspected in February. Our electrical inspector, Abel, went in there and saw that it was a 4-unit, but it should be a single-family home. There was no permits for it to be converted. And the owner is open to this being converted back to a single-family home. It was vacant at last visit, and we just would like to request that this be converted to a single-family home.
Do you just need us to affirm the order?
Yes.
Okay.
Motion to affirm.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Yes.
Do you want to
Which one? You just want to affirm the order, we don't need a status.
Correct,
right?
correct, yeah, it's a findings in
An
order
order.
based on
Gotcha.
the illegal
Okay.
permit.
Okay,
Thank you.
then we're going to move on to number 11, rental registration hearings, letter A, 6730 Waveland. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning to you guys.
Could you give us your name, please?
My name is Rosita Escobedo.
Okay, could you tell us what happened?
Well, I have AFib, and I've had AFib for about a year and a half now. And all of a sudden in March, as you know, AFib is the heart rate going up and down. But at the beginning of March, my heart decided to do something different. It became a constant, and it was over 150. So I do have proof here that I was in and out of the hospitals at that time.
Okay.
So that's my reason for not paying, and I hope you understand that I just couldn't handle the bills at that time.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, the Escobedos have been listed as the property owners since January 2011. We are here for a single-family home for 2024. They have registered on time previously. I would just request, Ms. Escobedo, the current home address, is that the Crown Point address? Because I also noticed there was an Arizona.
Yes, I currently live in Arizona.
Okay, so the Crown Point address is not valid.
No, it's not valid, correct.
thank you.
Yes, that was my old address.
Okay, perfect.
Motion to waive the late fee.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
If you'd like to stay till the end of the meeting, you can pay the $5, okay?
Thank you very much.
Okay, you're welcome.
Okay.
Okay, moving on to letter B, 4632 Henry. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Could you give us your name, please?
Antonio Frasco.
Okay. What happened, sir?
When I buy this property, the agreement was leave the stuff to the owner, like for months or whatever, so he can get all his stuff out. So when I put my service, they told me I had to register the house, but I didn't rent it. So what did I have to do? I didn't know.
Okay.
So Mr. Frasco is the current owner of the property since May of 2023. We are here for 23 and 24. The property's never been registered as a rental before, and then the utilities had been approved in June, which would have been, the lapse time to submit some documentation. Because he was the owner of the property, if somebody is living there, regardless of the situation, it's got to be registered or some. If it's vacant, there are no current permits for it to be worked on. Otherwise, an affidavit might have been applied. So in this situation, yeah, Mr. Frasco would have had to register for 23 and 24.
Okay, so sir, I hope you understand, you either have to pay, what's the fee for the not being occupied?
Well, if it's a vacant property, they have until October 1st of every year to register for a $300 fee. That's if it's vacant for a 90-day period or more. So once it hits that 90-day period of being vacant, they have an obligation to register it as vacant.
So Mr. Frasco, we're probably inclined to waive the late fee for 23 and 24, so you would just have to pay $5 for each year, as opposed to the $300 fee for not being occupied.
Okay.
So I'm assuming you'd rather pay $10 than $600.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
And just make sure going forward that you know that every year, if you're not going to rent it, you need to give them a affidavit saying that it's not being rented.
Okay.
Or you need to pay the $5 between January 1st and April 15th.
Okay, yeah, thank
Do
you.
you understand that? Okay.
Yes.
Motion to waive the late fees.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, sir, you can pay after the meeting if you'd like,
Thank you.
okay? Thank you. Okay, moving on to the last address, letter C, 844 Wilcox. Thank you. 844 Wilcox.
Mr. Dorsey?
Mr. Dorsey, Mrs. Dorsey. Okay,
All right, seeing as nobody appears, I would request the board deny the appeal for the late fee, and also make a note that the property that has been owned by Mr. Dorsey since January 23 does have an active homestead being claimed on the property.
okay.
Motion to apply, to charge the late fee.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
We need to maybe amend the that have the homestead removed?
Oh, no, we could take care of
Take
that.
care
That's
of that
fine. I
after
just want to
that?
make sure it's a note on the
Okay.
record. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, the meeting's now open to the public.
Uh-oh.
Say what?
What?
Okay,
Good morning.
Chief, how are you?
I live at the 6900 block of Magoon, and the problem that we're having is the 69 and 7000 block of Magoon between Indianapolis Boulevard and Magoon. The alley line is southbound, okay? We're getting a lot of traffic, and primarily, I believe, from the House of Pizza, going northbound.
Okay,
And what I'm requesting is, could you please maybe have street department post more one-way signs for southbound? The problem is, there's gonna be an accident one of these days. People pulling out of the alley line are, of course, looking northbound for the southbound traffic, and there are people flying down, I mean, it's in pretty good speed, coming primarily from the House of Pizza. It's just people, you know, I'm not trying to pick on the house.
Yeah.
But the other ones are just businesses, and there's a lot of people coming from, I believe, the House of Pizza. And the signage might not be there. And if there's an accident, what's gonna happen is, well, I didn't see the sign, or, you know, what, I didn't know there was a sign. So what I hope you can consider putting maybe more signs there. It might be a remedy nowadays with the drivers we have. It might not even help.
yeah, I was gonna ask, you don't know if there's one there now?
I'm not sure.
I think there's only one.
I know where I'm at, there was a former clinic that used to be right there. And there's areas where you can drive between the buildings.
Yeah.
There was one posted by me. In fact, I even went out and tree branch was covering partially the sign, and I cut it down so it would be visible.
Okay.
But I'm not sure, I don't think there's a lot of signage there.
We will ask the street department to put
Yeah,
up
you
another
know,
one.
and hopefully it will remedy
Yeah,
the situation.
okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Motion to forward the matter to the street department for follow-up.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Anybody else from the public like to speak? Megan, you
Megan?
good? Okay. Chris, you don't have anything?
I just want to tell everybody to stay cool.
Well, thank you, sir.
Thanks.
We appreciate that.
Motion to adjourn.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.